Alright guys, welcome to another Boruto video where today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different that I hope I continue to do going forward every month, which is breaking down and discussing the chapters of Boruto and sort of just giving my thoughts as well as where I think the manga is going to go in the future based off of what we got in this chapter and previous chapters. So basically it's just going to be a breakdown video for all of the Boruto chapters. Hopefully I can keep doing this going forward because Boruto is really hyping up both in the anime and in the manga. So now that we're entering a new arc and there's going to be new things that are going to be popping up, I thought I would talk about it. So without wasting any more time, real quick, just want to say thank you guys for watching. If you end up enjoying this video, then you can like the video, also subscribe if you want to see more. I also do other things, not just anime. I have Rooster Teeth videos, WandaVision reactions, which I plan on bringing back, and also things like Promised Neverland and Attack on Titan reactions once I have enough time. So if you guys want to see all those things, also, Boruto, then subscribe so you guys know when I upload next. Alright, not gonna waste any more time, let's get into the video. So right off the bat, I have to make a comment about the chapter's cover art. Lately, the cover art for Boruto has been really good. We had that one with Code last chapter, and before then we had Momoshiki Boruto, and all of them, like the way that they use colors and the way that they blend the characters' colors with the background, and also even the title itself. Like you can see the title in this one was blue and purple, which matches Sumare's outfit, which is like purple with a hint of blue. Also, she has blue in her hair, and also the background too was like a great shade of pink. So all of that, just like the attention to coloring is really well done in these cover arts. So yeah, really great job. So moving on to the breakdown, the way I want to do things is I want to talk about the topics that I feel like are very important and stuck out to me in the chapter. So I'm going to be talking about Boruto and Kawaki, Code, Amado, and anything else that like just stuck out to me in the chapter. So talking about Boruto and Kawaki first, we see that in this chapter that Boruto has sort of like accumulated some kind of fame. It's fame that he's very uncomfortable with. I'm happy that he's not like big-headed about this. Like, I feel like the old Boruto would definitely be like, oh yeah, this fame is great, this is amazing, and he'd like have a big head about it, and then we have to see him like flaunt all his stuff, maybe even show off a Rasengan or two to all his adoring fans. But this one is definitely a lot more mature. He's been hanging around Sasuke and Naruto, like the grown-ups, a lot, and he's been in battle, so he knows like this isn't a game, this is very serious, which is something I didn't really like about the Boruto of the past. Like he really took things as a game, but now like just evident by his reaction to all this fame, like he's matured. He doesn't like this. He'd rather go and train. He'd rather focus on what's going on with the karma mark and like Kawaki and all those things. So I really like his reaction to the fame that he's gotten. We find out like later that this fame was really just like a front that Shikamaru created in order to like distract Boruto from the fact that he's being watched 24/7 by the fact that he's being kept in the village. It really reminded me of Naruto, like early Naruto, like how the elders treated him, how they didn't want him to go out because they feared that the Nine Tails would go out of control or somebody would kidnap him. So this is honestly giving me elders vibes, what Shikamaru is doing, and I feel like this is going to lean into the complications of the issue, because yes, I definitely agree that Boruto should be watched, but at the same time, the last thing I want is to treat him like the elders treated Naruto in the past. And I feel like this might be a hint to maybe the village finding out about Boruto's karma and the fact that he could be transformed. There's a chance that maybe he will lose control in the village, and then people will go from cheering him on to fearing him, similar to how they feared Naruto, which would be pretty interesting because it'd be like a backwards version of Naruto's journey, who he started off being feared and then it ended with him being a hero. Here it could start with him being a hero and then him being feared. So that's really interesting. And if he does get that same treatment that Naruto does, then that also like sort of connect Naruto and Boruto even more through like this similar pain that they have. I mean, that honestly go back to Pain's speech about nobody truly understanding anybody without feeling their same pain. So that'd be a pretty cool like callback to Pain, now that I think about it. Meanwhile, while Boruto is dealing with all that fame stuff and getting interviewed, Kawaki is in like the hospital or in a scientific research lab getting his arm tested. Apparently he's had this arm for about like a week now, which sort of like gives us a time frame as to how long it's been since the fight. I think it's been around like a week, because it seems like this is the first time that his arm is getting tested. So maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks or something around that time. And so it hasn't been that long, but they had time to breathe since their fight with Ishiki. So while they're talking, I noticed that Amado says that Kawaki is not human. Like, even though he doesn't have the mark, and even though he's not like a vessel anymore, he's still very much a scientific ninja tool, just like a humanoid scientific ninja tool. So all the stuff that Jigen did to him, it's still there, which I wonder if that means he can like morph his body like he used to with the karma mark. Maybe he can just like not be able to like stop blasts with his hands and like create a giant explosion, but he's still able to like create that black stuff that shoots out of his arms and stuff, which you know would be really helpful. Either that or he's gonna have to learn ninjutsu. I don't know where they're taking his combat yet, because we haven't seen him since he lost his karma, but he apparently is still 80% Otsutsuki, which means like he's 80% Otsutsuki, but he's not gonna progress further, so he's still very much not human. Unlike Boruto, who is 80% and rising, so he's getting closer to being actually consumed by Momoshiki. It's also revealed that apparently Sumire and Kawaki are going to be spending a lot more time together. This was kind of hinted in the anime when Kawaki and Sumire actually like got that alone time together. Kawaki mentioned that, oh, Sumire is you're a lot like me. That's what he told Sumire. So it seems like they're sort of getting her ready to have a bigger role in the manga, which I'm pretty excited about, because I mean, this girl is a tuning level ninja. Since the academy, she's been tuning level. So she is skilled. So, and plus she also has that summoning ability that she's able to summon that creature. I forgot what the name was, but new, I think. So she is able to fight. So hopefully we get to see her a lot more. You know, maybe she'll have like a longer dress, but it'd still be cool to see her, you know, back in action. But it seems like they're setting up a sort of relationship between Kawaki and Sumire. It doesn't have to be romantic because she seems to be into Boruto, but it seems like they're going to have a lot more time to spend with each other, which is pretty cool, I think. Also, it's another thing that the anime has set up that the manga hasn't set up yet. So it's once again, like, you have to watch the anime to get that full, like, reaction to knowing that Sumire is now going to be with Kawaki a lot more. Because I wonder if they're going to like interact, and you know, I wonder if Sumire is gonna mention her past of trying to destroy the village and like being against Boruto and stuff like that. And then we get a cute little scene with Kawaki finding out that Sumire is into Boruto. You know, she actually admits that he's right. Like, she doesn't go, "What? No, what are you talking about?" She's just like, "Hey, don't say that out loud, and let's keep that between us." Even though, like, even the doctor said it's pretty obvious. Even though I don't think even Boruto realizes it. But I do like how she didn't like deny it, and she just went like, "Yeah, I am. Just don't say anything." Like I thought she'd be like another Hinata, but she seems to be just a little bit braver than Hinata was when she was younger. So yeah, Kawaki gets his arm tested. It's fine. He's about to leave, and Amado, like, it seems like he wanted to say something, but then after that he sort of just went like, you know, no, we'll save it for next time. So I'm thinking that this might not be like a bad thing that Amado wanted to say, or like some kind of reveal, but instead, like, maybe he wanted to talk to Kawaki about possibly a new move or a new ability that he can use during fights. And that's why he said, "I'll save it for later, because I know, like, you know, you're probably tired right now, so we'll just save that whole discussion for next time." So I think that Amado might end up helping Kawaki to sort of like keep up with Boruto, even though he doesn't have a karma. So it'll be pretty interesting to see if that's the truth, or maybe it's just like something else and it's another proof that Amado is like a bad guy. But I honestly think that this could be that what he wants to say is connected to the training that Kawaki's gonna have to do later on in the future. Also, another thing with Kawaki is Sarada mentioned that apparently Team 7 can't go on missions because they're a 3-man squad and one of their men cannot leave the village. So Sarada and Mitsuki are basically grounded too until they find a new member. So there's a good chance that Kawaki, while Boruto is stuck in the village, might replace Boruto for a little bit. So like Kawaki will go with Team 7 and they'll be like the temporary Team 7, and then Boruto will stay at home. If it's not something they're going to do in the manga, there's a good chance that that's something they're going to do in the anime as like some kind of filler or something that's going to be probably super important later on in the future in the manga. But yeah, I do think that there's a chance that they're setting up for that as well. So later on in the chapter, Kawaki and Boruto meet up on the head of Naruto. Like, the scene definitely carried like a good amount of weight, considering what we know Boruto and Kawaki will be doing once they're older and they meet up again. So that was a quick little, like, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but like I definitely felt something when I saw both of them on Naruto's head, considering that they're going to be on Naruto's head later on in the future, except they're not going to be allies, they're going to be enemies. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, it seems like Boruto has to keep his karma mark a secret, which I don't know why he wouldn't just wear gloves if that's the case, or like a bandage or something, instead of just like waving his hand with the karma mark on there and forgetting. So yeah, maybe this is a clue to a costume change, even though in the future he's not wearing any gloves that we see. So yeah, just a quick little thing I noticed. My quick feelings on Boruto and Kawaki's relationship, because I obviously wasn't able to say it before, but I really do like their relationship together. I feel like they have this brotherly bond that is, yeah, honestly, stronger than Sasuke and Naruto. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like Sasuke and Naruto didn't get that much of a chance to develop as brothers. Like, they had, of course, that moment with Garo, they had that moment with Haku, and then after that, they had that whole, like, I gotta kill you because you're my best friend thing. But I feel like, I don't know, Kawaki, like, maybe it's the fact that Kawaki lives with them, but they actually do feel like strong brothers. Like, and the way they interact, the dialogue that they say, it does sound a lot more like a brother rather than a rival. Like, don't get me wrong, Naruto and Sasuke, they have a close bond, but Boruto and Kawaki, I feel like they kind of like reached that next level. Like, they even had that Kingdom Hearts dialogue in the last chapter where Boruto was like, I feel like I could do so much when you're next to me. Like, that felt like straight out of Kingdom Hearts with Sora and Riku. Like, that was like Kingdom Hearts level of mushy brotherly love that they had going on there. So you can't beat that. You can't beat that. I mean, yeah, I mean, as far as like, you know, time spent, Naruto and Sasuke definitely like have a leg up because of just how long they've been together and how long we've seen them interacting. Like, Boruto and Kawaki, they're still pretty new. But as far as like, if you compare Naruto and Sasuke's relationship at their age to Boruto and Kawaki, like, it's definitely like Boruto and Kawaki definitely have a stronger bond, I think. So Kawaki reminds us of the situation that with Momoshiki and Boruto, and Kawaki says maybe you should try looking for your own vessel. So if you do get taken over, your mind and, like, I guess, I don't know, your soul, but definitely like your mind, your code will go into somebody else. And of course Boruto's like, there's absolutely no way I'm gonna do that because I have to sacrifice someone. But then after that, Kawaki's like, well, there is this one person who's not a good person and it's dangerous, so if you take him over, like, that would solve our problem, which is, you know, code. Code has already been proven to be able to take karma, and even though he's not a vessel, he's not able to be a vessel for Ishiki, he could be a vessel for Boruto, which is interesting, I think, because he is able to take the karma. That's the whole thing. Like, he's somebody that can use karma, but he can't be Ishiki's vessel. But there's a chance that he could be Boruto's vessel. Maybe he's just not compatible with Ishiki, but he might be compatible with Boruto. And honestly, I could see that being the case. And then Boruto, who honestly seemed a little bit like, he seemed hesitant at first, but he seemed like he was slowly getting into the idea, like, oh, you know what, I could do that, it's a possibility. So I feel like Code is going to be compatible with Boruto, and Boruto's gonna have to choose, am I gonna do something that might be morally wrong, but I'm doing it to a bad person, so it should be fine. So I think he's going to have that question that he's going to have to answer for himself. Obviously, he's probably going to be like, no, I'm not going to do that. But, I mean, honestly, maybe there's a chance that he is. So you have Boruto, evil Boruto running around, and then you have, maybe for a temporary amount of time, Boruto in Code's body. That's also a possibility, which would go against my expectations, so I wouldn't be against it at all. And then the chapter ends with Boruto saying, all right, what do you know what shinobis do during these like difficult times? We train. So he's gonna go out there, he's gonna train, probably gonna ask Sasuke for like advice for space and time ninjutsu, which I think would be really cool if he focused on trying to learn that. And if he does end up like not mastering it, but like being able to do a little bit of it, it's probably gonna be like short hops here and there. Maybe it'll be similar to like Kakashi's use of what's it, Kamui? That's another person they can go to, Kakashi, because he technically was using space and time ninjutsu for a while now, even though he didn't really know that's what he was doing. So he might go to Kakashi, he might go to Sasuke, and just sort of get some little advice and then like work on that space and time ninjutsu, which I think would be pretty cool. Like, you know, he learns a jutsu that's not Rasengan and it's something completely different. I think that'd be really cool. The overall goal would be to get the 10 tails before Code is able to do some kind of horrible thing and use 10 tails for evil. So yeah, I think that would be like the goal for Boruto right now. So moving on from Boruto and Kawaki, we're gonna go to Code now. And Code got a lot of development in this manga. Like, we talked about his abilities, we talked about his past, we talked about him being compatible with Karma. So starting off with Code, we see that he's back in our world. He's back in the real world from the Ten Tails prison. He apparently has a way to use time and space. It's not time and space ninjutsu, but he has a way to hop from one dimension to the other. And it seems to be an ability. It's not like a device or anything. So I'm wondering what that is, and if he's able to go like not only to the Ten Tails area, but also to what do you call it? To like one of Kaguya's places, or like one of like the places that we saw in the fight against Naruto and Sasuke versus Kaguya. So that'd be pretty interesting to see if he could use that like in a wide variety, or if he's just limited to just the Ten Tails area and then places in our world. So during this chapter, we get Amado talking to Naruto and Kawaki talking to Boruto about Code. We're getting all this information that we didn't get in the past, but if you read the manga, I mean, if you watch the anime, then you have like a pretty good idea of what they're talking about as far as like his feelings towards Jigen, his feelings towards Kawaki, and like how he desperately wants to be a vessel. So in this chapter, Amado talks about the fact that there are still multiple outers out in the world, and that like all the inners are dead, which we will talk about later. So this is setting up like Code becoming the leader of this new Kara group, where he's gonna have new inners and he's gonna use all the outers of the past to get to his goal, which I really like, because that's really what I liked about Kara. The fact that they have like outers and then they also have inners, which is something that the Akatsuki I think sort of had. I think they had like, didn't they have like men on the outside that weren't in the Akatsuki, but they were doing like odd jobs for the Akatsuki, and then they of course they had the Akatsuki themselves. I think so, but like there's something really like I like that there's like this whole underground empire that basically Code now controls. So you know, Kara could be anywhere, and they could be anyone, and they can like, they have all these different sort of people. And then also on top of that, he also has the Ten Tails locked up. So he has an army, he has the inners, and he has the Ten Tails, and he also has his own like karma abilities. So he's pretty formidable as a villain, especially since Naruto and Sasuke lost their like big winning tickets. Like, you know, Sasuke lost his eye, Naruto lost Kurama. So Code is very much on top at the moment. Even though everybody's dead, like I still see Code as a formidable villain. So yeah, Kawaki talks about Code not being able to become Jigen's or Ishiki's vessel. So he basically has the karma, but he has none of the responsibility. Like, he doesn't have to worry about being a vessel, which to me would be a win. But to Code, like, that's a huge disappointment. Like, he wants to be a vessel for Jigen, and that's because he praises not only Jigen and Ishiki, but the whole Otsutsuki clan. And we don't know why he worships them at the moment. It could be maybe he comes from a family that knew about the Otsutsukis and they praise them as gods. Or it could be the fact that Jigen came to him in his hour of need and did something to help him, and ever since then Jigen sees him in this new light. Like, he sees him as this savior. So you have that similar like toxic relationship where Jigen can use this guy, treat him like shit, use him as a vessel, and Code would be completely fine with it because he feels like, oh, I owe you so much, and you did so much for me. Like, you're a savior. So yeah, if you need my body, if you need to use me as a vessel, go ahead and do that. So it could be one of those two reasons. It could be something completely different, but that's my thoughts on why Code is like this. So apparently Code this whole time has been Jigen's right-hand man. And I'll be honest, I did not feel that at all while Jigen was here. Like, we know that they didn't even interact in the manga, like, and even in the anime, like, it's clear that they're close, but I didn't think that Code was his right-hand man. So I felt like that was sort of out of nowhere, and I felt like, hell, you didn't even need to say that he was his right-hand man. In fact, I felt like Amado was his right-hand man this whole time, but Amado is saying that Code was Jigen's right-hand man. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's sort of out of nowhere, but I was like, okay, whatever. So yeah, Code's abilities I want to talk about real quick. It seems like we got like a few things in this manga. He's able to morph his body similar to Kawaki, because of the karma mark. He also has these like black bands that are used as this sort of like portal, so he can like put his whole body inside, or he can like put his hand through it and he's able to come out the other side. So that's a pretty cool, neat trick. I don't know how he's able to do that. Like, I don't know what jutsu that's from, or is like he just like infused chakra and he's able to like go through these bands. I'm not really sure, but it still looked cool nonetheless, and I would like to see that, like, you know, used a lot more. It's also found out that his combat abilities exceed Jigen's. He said Jigen's, not Ishiki's, so I don't think he's like Ishiki level, but like Jigen in his regular human body, you know, maybe he also has like the karma all over him. Code is able to beat that, which I think is a really good like power setter. Like, he's not as strong as Ishiki, who took Naruto going into this like destructive form in order to beat, but he's able to beat, like, he's at Jigen's level, who Boruto and Kawaki have a better chance with. So if they do beat him, or if they do stand at least a little bit of a chance, it won't feel weird, it won't feel like out of place. It makes sense because he's not as strong as Ishiki's strongest form. It's also interesting to note that apparently limiters were put on Code's body, which it seems like he did it willingly. So he knew that he was stronger than Jigen, but he still said, yeah, sure, I'll put limiters on so people don't question you. It goes back to the fact that we don't know why Code follows Jigen, because it's not strength. It's not like, oh, this guy's so strong, so I'm going to join him. So I do think it has something to do with maybe something that Jigen did to help Code in the past. Maybe he took him off the streets, maybe something like that. But it definitely seems like there is something that Jigen did in order for Ishiki to be so blind. I'm sorry, Code, not Ishiki. But yeah, moving on to Amado now. It just is a lot shorter than the other ones because it's just like little things that I noticed. For one thing, Amado is still very suspicious. Like, he's still holding things a lot, like, very closely to the chest. For one thing, it goes back to what he wanted to say to Kawaki, but we're not sure what he said. It could be a good thing. It could be him wanting to teach Kawaki a new move, but it could also be a bad thing that he's like, you know what, I'll keep that to myself. I keep that knowledge to myself just in case. So he's definitely keeping some things close to his chest. There's also the other fact that he said that all the inners are gone. He doesn't mention Delta. I don't remember, maybe he did mention Delta in a past chapter, but I'm pretty sure he didn't tell Naruto, Shikamaru, Sasuke about Delta's return, that she's still alive. So if that's true, then he's keeping that close to the chest. And if that's true, like, why is he keeping that close to him? Like, he could tell him that Delta is still alive, but if he's keeping that away from Naruto, why? What's the plan here? What are you trying to get to? And also, there was that moment in the last chapter where he was like whispering to himself. So yeah, there's definitely like something going on with Amado. I'm interested to see what his whole thing is. It'll be hilarious. In the end, Amado is the main villain. He's been like in the shadows this whole time. He's been plotting, doing things like in our view, but we just didn't know what it was. And it turns out that he's the big bad at the end. That'd be pretty interesting, but I don't think he's gonna be the big bad, but at the same time, I don't 100% trust him. Amado does also mention that there are several cyborgs that are as strong or stronger than Jigen's power. And once again, Jigen, not Ishiki. And because of that, Jigen wanted him to get rid of him. It's like, no, Amado, I do not want those things anywhere near me. Because if they go wrong, or if you end up betraying me, which he does, then I don't want to have to fight all those things. Because it's like a multiple of androids that are stronger than Jigen. So I found that really interesting that Amado went like, yeah, okay. He didn't destroy them, but at the same time, if he had these androids, I wonder why he didn't use them. I'm thinking that maybe they sort of like similar to like the androids in Dragon Ball Z, maybe they have the capability to go rogue against him and do their own thing. And maybe like they have too much free will. So there's a chance that, like, you know, especially since we know what's going to happen, what Code is doing, there's a chance that they might go berserk, you know, and they might be too much for even Code to handle. Or maybe similar once again to Dragon Ball Z, they're going to want to destroy the person that turned him into an android. Speaking of Code once again, this seems to be this is what I believe like the inners are going to be now. It's going to be this group of androids that are stronger than Jigen. So you have the outers, once again, they stay the same. Like, you have that fucking cult that Boro has, which I cannot believe that he has, but honestly, it fits his character in the anime. Like, he's so full of himself that he would have a cult, which I love. Once again, like, I love the outers in this manga. Like, I love these different groups that, you know, could be formed of different people. Like, you have Boro's cult here, you have Delta's fan base here, and then you have like Code's like hillbilly friends there, you know what I'm trying to say? So like I do like how like there's diversity in these outers. But yeah, so you have the outers, and then you have the inners, which will be Code, and then the rest of these androids that were stronger than Jigen. And I believe that Code is now like waking these guys up, and I feel like we're gonna see them in action real soon. The first android that we see is called Ida, and apparently she is the one that knows everything in the world. Not really sure what that means, not really sure where that's leading up to. Possibly she has some secrets about the world that Code is trying to look for in order to get stronger, like a hidden temple, some kind of artifact, so on and so forth. So I'm interested to see what that's about and how she was able to know everything about the world. And apparently she's also going to be one of those people that is stronger than Jigen, so she's going to be a threat to Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, so on and so forth. But yeah, that was this chapter. I'm really excited. In the next chapter, it seems like we're going to be getting some interesting stuff, either setting up or we're going to be at the Gokage Summit, which if it's going to be held in like, you know, the Leaf Village, and it's like, oh, okay, that's okay. But if it's going to be in that snowy tundra, then one, we haven't seen that since Naruto, when Sasuke went to like look for Danzo. And two, Code might be nearby that area because he's in like a snowy region. So there's a chance that Code, Ida, and whatever other android is out there is gonna like break into that summit and disrupt it, which will be pretty interesting to see, especially since once again these guys are stronger than Jigen. We know that the Kages are kind of struggling with power, like they're not as strong as the old versions. So I think even the old versions would have some trouble. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty interesting to see. Maybe like we'll see the Kages versus all of the androids, and then all of the androids win. Like that'd be pretty interesting. So yeah, I also think there's a good chance that Boruto will attend the summit because he has a karma and they're probably going to want to show off that karma mark. So I think we are going to see maybe Boruto in that Kage summit, and then after that he's going to see the androids, and maybe even Team 7 will be able to join him just in case, you know, so he feels comfortable, and you know, the more backup the better. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for the next chapter. I love what they're doing with Code. I love what they're doing with Kara. I love what they're doing with Boruto and Kawaki. I love the relationship. I love that Boruto is ready to like get back in there and train so he can get stronger. What else do I love? Amado, still think that he's pretty shady, so I'm excited to see where he goes from this. I really hope that they do stop this whole like anime manga thing. Like they're kind of like forcing us to watch the anime in order to get that full experience with Code and Kawaki and Boruto and Sumire. So I'm hoping that they kind of like cut that out and they show what they need to show in the manga. Like I know you have limited amount of time and a limited amount of pages, but I feel like forcing people to watch the anime is like, it's like in order to get like that full experience. Like I feel like that's a bit messed up. Just show the thing in the manga and keep it at that. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Tell me what you guys thought about this chapter, what you guys think about Boruto overall, where you think Code is going, Boruto, Kawaki, Amado, Naruto, Sasuke, so on and so forth. Ida, we only got a little glimpse of her, but she looks really cool. Like I love her hair, I love her what she's dressed as. Like she seems like she could be really cool. So I'm excited to see where she goes from here. So yeah, tell me what you guys think once again. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.